Salasa, what's the program? He said, you're on the side. I'm nobody to make any nasiyat or advice. So that part is gone. The main nasiyat or instructions you had to see was last week as the Khalifatul Masih addressed to Ansarullah UK. I think that is more than anything you need foreseeable future to really reflect upon it and try to follow it as much as we can within our capacity. There's a lot of material there, and it kind of dare us and challenge us whether we as an Ansarullah able to do it or not. So now the ball is in our court, as they say, and prove to him that are we really Ansarullah, or is it just the slogan we like to do, especially every year at the one time. We take our pledge and we make Allah Ta'ala as a witness, and we solemnly affirm that we follow that pledge, and that is that we give precedence our faith to the world, over the world. So that is something we need to reflect in our daily lives. But I take this opportunity, and instead of me telling you anything, I need your advice. And I'm serious about it. You all, either parents of young children or older children, you are entered the age, as the Khalifatul Masih has said, that's the end of the, in a manner, no more organizations or auxiliaries. The end here is ultimate return to our creator. I don't know how many people you are, how many you are aware of the Terbayyat issue that we are facing in Jamaat. Drip, drip, drip. Atfalul Ahmadiyya can take care of it. Khudamul Ahmadiyya can do it to some point, and it is all upon Ansarullah either to take this responsibility or just walk away. And those who do walk away, they cannot call them helper of Allah Ta'ala. To help Allah Ta'ala and His creation
is that He did not fix. And a layer upon that is, back home, we were more regular at the mosque with lectures than we are here. So the kids are trying, but the challenges they are facing outside of home, they spend about 8 hours or more than that outside. By the time they come back home, maybe the parent, both the parents are outside working, or one of them is outside working. So we spend less time with the kids. Now, what can we do to improve this situation?
Can I stop you here for a minute? Those people who are agreed that those kids are better, I would say better or good?
They are trying. They are trying. They are trying their best. I didn't say better or better.
You didn't say better, you didn't say good.
I didn't say good.
What are they? I mean, they are not bad.
Good, but in terms of
Okay, go ahead, just give me the solution, please.
yes, what we can do to help them is one, from within the family, we try as much as possible to spend more time with them. One of the ways or the avenue where the kids they get information other than the faith information or moral information is the school, commuting to and fro from the school on the bus. That is where most of these things happen, especially at the middle school. So as families, we need to try as much as possible to create extra time, both the father and the mother. As a Jamaat, we need to create more opportunities for the entire family to come to the mosque and have programs together.
How many times a month?
At least we should do it 4 times a month.
4 times? You're from Columbus?
Yes.
President Columbus here? Okay. You have any office in the Jamaat?
Tabligh.
Terbayyat? Tabligh? So how many attendance you have once a week general meeting? Just give me an idea. How many percentage of people in your Jamaat come to mosque once a month meeting or twice a month meeting?
Once a month.
Yes, once a month come there. How many percentage?
I don't have a specific
Just
figure.
an idea.
I can just ballpark. I would say maybe 35 to 40%.
So you are talking 4 times. So you divide 35 4 times, is going to become 8%. So for the total Jamaat, you cannot get your more than 35% people. And your number is very accurate, you guessed it. But if you look around all the Jamaats, that was the number usually, is 30 to 40%. And we can talk about it, we don't have much time, but we can discuss sometime separate. So this is where we are. So I am asking a practical solution. If you think it is practical, you can apply in your Jamaat and let us know in 6 months. Nobody's stopping you. You can do it. You are a Mamla member. You can tell your Sadr, your other Mamla member, convince them that which you have programmed. These are your local Jamaat programs. Has nothing to do with the headquarter. Has nothing to do with Sadr Ghulam al-Ahmadiyya or Markaz. This is your local effort that you need to do. And you can do it. You can bring them every day, every other day. So those programs has to be held there, and as an AMLA member, you should follow through and see how much success you get. Next point.
No more points.
No? Just a minute. Is anybody who can define me a good kid? You can define me. What's good kid? And what is an Ahmadi good kid?
An Ahmadi good kid.
Yeah, we're talking about Ahmadis. We're not talking about Russians or Japanese. I mean non-Ahmadis.
An Ahmadi good kid, number 1, read Namaz regularly. Number 2, obeys the parent's instruction. Don't go against the instruction of the parent. Number 3, I would say moral upbringing, which is the responsibility of the parent, is not associating with people who are not of the same faith. Because what we see is that sometimes the kids from outside of the faith, they want to make friends with your kid, and they even come home to ask them to go out. So if your kid is able to understand that the only thing that he or she will gain from that kind of association is people who have been...
No, I'm just asking, I'm sorry, because of time. I'm just saying, in your estimation, how you define a good Ahmadi kid is who does namaz, who obeys the parents, who
listen to Huzur's advice.
And what about recitation of the Holy Quran? Is that okay?
Part of it.
Yeah, okay. So these main things that you could do. Okay. Just to answer your question, up to 5 years of age, that kid is staying with you for 24 hours. 24 hours a day. No outside influence. Unless you allow them to watch TV or give them the tablet or whatever you want to do for your own convenience, not for their knowledge. This is your own convenience. Don't want to hear it screaming or shouting, so you give them the tablet and then forget about it. I'm not saying about you, I'm talking about most of us. So please, when I say you, none of them think I'm criticizing anybody. God forgive me for that. But for 5 years you have this thing. Is any psychiatrist here? Please raise your hand. All right, would you tell us by what age the kids were formed? I'm not going, because some people may not believe in hadith or say, oh, this was old time, now we are in new age. So give me the research. At what age the kid's mind is formed? And don't give me this bitter from truth. Psychological advice.
It's always forming. First 5 years are crucial.
Okay. So you got total, just thank you, sir. Thank you. Now everybody listen, it's not my saying, I'm not quoting you any other thing. This is exactly what he's saying, what Prophet ﷺ said 1400 years ago. For first 5 years you have those kids. You couldn't change it. You did not reform it to your liking. Then comes from 5 to 18. And 16 hours a day, still double the time they spend on school, and if you take extra couple of hours sport, who are there, still you have almost 12, 13, 14 hours at home under direct supervision of your parents. If we could not achieve success by then, then we are doomed to fail. Pardon me, but that is the fact. And that's what we're seeing it. And with all due respect, sir, this is what is happening. I don't want to take responsibility of my kids. If that goes bad, I call Sahib Khudam al-Ahmadi, I say, you're not doing the job. That poor guy is as old as my kid is. He is also growing up spiritually. It's right, he has a responsibility. But the responsibility lies with the parents. That's what you just said. Listen to the parents. So if they are not listening to the parents, whose fault is that? Mine? His? Yours. If your kid, obviously, my kid, then my problem. It's not your problem. Jazakallah. Okay, any other advice? Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Mirza. My name is Dave Rashid. I'm
Yes, sir.
from Jamaat. Of course, there's many elders here and many who are way more experienced than I am. I'd just like to share a few strategies or some decisions that my wife...
First of all, do you agree we have a problem?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I agree we have a problem. Just want to share just a few things that my wife and I have done that, by the grace of Allah, we've been recipients of tremendous blessings. First and foremost, recognizing that children start learning from the moment that they're born until they become adults. One of the things that we tried to do, and we were successful at, was that we had the children's grandparents move in with us. So living with grandparents, of course, they're receiving Terbayyat the whole time, even from a very young age. The second decision that we made that has resulted in tremendous blessings is wherever we've decided to move, and I've moved around in a lot of different places and lived in a lot of different places, but the first and foremost thing that we did is that wherever we decided to buy a house or live, it was within a short driving distance of the mosque. That was a non-negotiable. And if I was offered a job where I would have to live far away from the mosque, I rejected it. The third thing that we do regularly is that, of course, every weekend we're at the masjid, but even during the weekdays, we make it a point to visit the mosque at least 2 to 3 times for regular prayers. And we help our kids make friends with other children that are in the mosque. And the fourth thing that I think that is really, really critical, particularly today, is we have, my kids, especially my older two, when they got to their teenage years, they started asking about having a social media account. And at that point in time, I sat down my 2 older children, and together we watched the Netflix movie, The Social Dilemma, which actually talks about the dangers of social media and how harmful it is to a human being and your psychology. Amir Sahib, after watching that film and taking the time to discuss all the ills that result from that type of activity when it's completely, open and free for everybody, my kids have never asked for a social media account, and that's been now 3-4 years. So, alhamdulillah, so far so good. I pray that Allah Ta'ala continues to guide them. But these are just some of the things that I wanted to point out.
Jazakallah. Before we go further, please, who agree that there is a problem with our kids, raise your hand. Okay, Jazakallah. Those who don't think there is a problem with our kids, please raise your hands. Okay, sir. Would you please stand up and justify your statement? You don't have any problem with your kids? Not, I'm saying with your kids. I'm saying in general, those people who don't think we have a problem in the Jamaat with the kids, raise your hand. You are one of those?
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Well, assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdurrahman from Atlanta, Jamaat. Well, you asked us to help you or come up with kind of solution to the problem. And I don't think putting the blame on the doorsteps of the kids.
What is?
I don't think putting the blame on the kids.
No, I'm not blaming them.
Well, when we say we have problem with them, it gotta be either from the parents or from the kids.
The question, maybe maybe I did not say things. When we say in reality, I'm not saying with the kids means there are problems. If there is a problem with my kid, I'm not saying it is his problem or my problem. If he is not coming to the mosque, that's a problem. If he is not doing 5 daily prayers, it's a problem. It's not a question whose fault is it? Mine, yours, anybody else. That's not the question. The question is that how many you believe that overall in the Jamaat there is no issue with the kids, and obviously there would be always some. You cannot have 100%, okay? You cannot have 100%. You 50, 30, 40. If you have a majority of your children in the Jamaat are following Allah Ta'ala's instructions and commandments and attaching with Ahmad Rasulullah's and Masih Maud and Khulafa, then we can say that. But you don't think that we have issue with our kids. That means that in your opinion, majority of the Ahmadis who are growing up children from age 1 to 20 do not have problem. Is that a correct statement that you said?
I do not have the data.
I'm saying your impression. I'm not asking the data.
Well, you said if they don't come to the mosque, do the parents come to the mosque and the kids refuse to?
No, it's not that. It's the result I'm asking. I'm not asking whose problem is this. If my kids, I come to mosque, I do 5 daily prayers, and my kids refuse to come to the mosque. They are grown up. They don't do daily prayers at home even 5 times after age 10. They don't recite Holy Quran. Do you think it's a problem or not?
I don't see that, so I wouldn't say it's a problem.
No. If it is the situation. Are you married?
I'm married.
Huh?
I'm married.
Forget about it. Just sit down. No, you don't have any clue. Okay?
Do you mind if I use the opportunity to actually
Yes, sir.
make my suggestion? Well, I think it is the responsibility of the parents to raise the kids.
Yes, sir.
We focus on the financial aspects at the expense of the spiritual aspects. We don't see it as a problem that, or if you don't have the capacity to spiritually take care of your kids, we don't raise any alarm. If I don't have money and my kids don't, they are going hungry, I'll look for help. If I do not have knowledge to raise them spiritually, we don't raise any alarm. We move on with it. And I think that's part of the reason why we have this, in your word, the problem we're seeing. If the parent is not capable of spiritually upbringing their kids, it's going to be what we are seeing.
What they should do?
Well, if you know that spiritually you have to upbring your kids in a certain way and you need help, you need to seek for help. Part of it is knowledge. If a parent doesn't see that reading the Quran should be part of the regimen in the household, then we can only try on the Jama level. It's already falling from the home. So going back to the basics of understanding the spiritual need, the tahajjud, I just want to chip this in. My son just went to college, and Thursday night I always text him.
That's fine. If we can, we need such suggestions, and that's what everybody can give us an opinion.
One of the things I'm just about to say, regarding that is when I text him, plan to do tahajjud tomorrow. Then last week he told me I set my alarm, but I just go to get back from my bed and all that. We need to follow up with the kids. If it's not there, it's going to be a problem. We need to check with their spiritual growth. If there is no spiritual growth from when they are young, they are not going to turn into the kind of adults we're expecting.
That's the whole issue, sir. That's the problem. You're saying the same thing I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying the solution is we need to, if you need help, if the parent doesn't have the backbone.
If there's no problem, there's no solution. We need no solution. You said there's no problem, so why are you offering the solution?
Well, the solution.
If there is no problem in your opinion,
I don't see it as a problem.
Everything hunky-dory, you just enjoy life, Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My name is Sajjad.
Yes, sir.
I'm Zionist. Because the brother Hanif gave me that name last time I met him. So from Zion. Somebody says that we don't have any problem with the kids. He must be an angel.
No, he's not living in this world.
He must be out of his mind. Anyhow, I have two boys. One is 36, one is 32. They never come to mosque. I try everything, almost up till now, up to about 6 months ago.
I believe you.
Okay. I try everything, nothing works. One day I was sitting in the mosque. Brother Magfoor, our president, he asked me, here's 2 Qurans in his house. I put one in older son's room, the second one I put in younger son's room. The Quran came in my room next day. Somebody did not put it on my bed, they just threw it. I took the Quran back and put it in their room again. Next day is again in my room. The process goes 6 months. They don't stop throwing the Quran in my room, and I don't stop putting them back in the room. One day I come home and there's no Quran in my room. So I tell you something wrong. What happened? So I go downstairs and my son is sleeping on the bed, laying down on the bed and is reading Quran.
Wow.
After 6 months. His name is Shabazz. The younger one, his name is Ali. He did not read the Quran, but one day I go in my shop. I have a mechanic shop in Zion, right next to the mosque. He was saying prayer in his office. Brother Alpha? Where's Brother Alpha? He is my president, and I just want to put him as a witness that he gave me the Quran. I tried my best for years. Nobody listened because based upon my job, I was traveling. And I was out for 20 days, 45 days, 10 days. There was a lack of guidance of some connection. Listen. Whenever I come home, I talk to my kids, they just want me. Daddy, come here, please come here. Looks like they don't know me and I don't know them. That was the basic problem. But when Brother Alpha told me, hey, here's a Quran, put it in the room. I did that. Now my younger son, they don't know Islam, they don't know nothing because I was not there. And there's a lot of problem. I call it on 4 or 5 times in my mosque. And we try to come to the mosque every day. I think if you leave, I tried my best. Then I gave up. Then I leave it on God. Hey, here's the Quran. You deal with him. And my son, one day he asked me, Dad, can I say 4 prayers at the same time together because I don't have the time? And the older one, every day he do not sleep before he open the Quran and he starts. But the second problem is, they are not coming to the mosque. I don't know the answer, that's why I ask you to please help me and a lot of other people here who have the same problem. Thank you. Older one is 36 and younger one is 32. They born here. They born here. They live in my house, but I'm out of my house.
When he's talking about when they were young, is that correct?
Yes.
When you gave the Quran, they were 6 and 8.
No. They were not 6 and 8. When they were 6 and 8, I was at home. I was working all day long outside.
Well, then, sir, this is what we talked about. Just by 5, they had all their habits done. There was no supervision, and I can sympathize with you honestly. Is because of the work you have to travel, and you have to make livings. Now looking back, basically we lost it. It lost it. I don't know is your wife contributed in that and how much she was participating, but at some point comes, we all gonna make money, live comfortably, and then die. The only thing we leave behind is not my car, not my home, my children.
You are absolutely right, but my wife has a sister. When they sit down, they forget everything. They forget about kids. They just sit down and chit chat.
So we leave behind children. If they are not believing in God and has no faith, then that's it. That's the end of your family. That's it. We are reading our own obituary, believe it. We are writing our own obituary, spiritual obituary. Spiritually, and don't, think that I'm careless, it is the truth. Spiritually, you buried them long ago. And it's the only way is now to pray and pray and pray.
Thank you, Jazakallah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. I can hear you.
Mr. I would like to basically, first of all, we all should admit that it's a severe problem, and our thought process to start to change the mindset that right now what I observe that we are putting everything on the shoulder of Jamaat.
Yes, sir.
So every home has some domestic depth strategy that need to be implemented. Are we engaging our children? Are we implementing the religion practices at home? Are we true loyal to the Khilafat? So those are the things. If I would suggest that the 5 things we can do to, I think, to mitigate this risk. First of all, start from the personal reformation we must need. This is our own responsibility. We should understand that this is a very terrible situation, and we should develop at the domestic level, we should develop some preventive and corrective actions. So we need to engage our children at home. If I am not reciting the Quran, I need to forget that my children will, recite the Quran if I am not reciting, if I am not offering the prayer. So same thing, that first we need to start from our own. We need to, that engage the children. According to my observation, the 2 times are very important. When children are going to the school, we need to sit at after the salat and recite the Quran, breakfast, and then during the breakfast we can discuss the importance of Jamaat and what's our role and responsibility. And when they come back from the school, at that time we need to sit with them that what they learned, and again we need to, this is the continuously, the process we need to follow. If we are following those things, we have all resources that Jamaat is providing, and if they are keep writing the letter to Rasul, because Prophet Muhammad Islam already said that जो भी तुम्हारे घर में होगा खुदा ताला उसकी हिफाजत करेगा. So this is basically the what we need to be, that we need to prepare our children, our family in a way that the God consider us that we are the true life to the promised Messiah Islam and his Jamaat, and true life to the Khilafat. I think that is the only thing, that this is our own responsibility. Jamaat is available, and Jamaat is providing all required, the information, the required resources. But we need to implement from the grassroots, from our own home, and we need to reform our own self. That's my answer.
Yes. One point he raised is very important in my opinion, and that is what we talk at the dinner table. That's where children are getting most of their education. It's just gentlemen say he's away from home, on somebody is, so we have not much time during the day. But if we have a joint gathering at the dinner table and our conversation, you don't have to particularly talk about namaz every day or Quran every day. The conversation between the parents, how they talk. If we're going to talk about money and the house and this thing and that thing and relative and friend, then it leaves an impression that those children are going to just follow. They are very intelligent children, 2, 3, 4 years old. They are not only watching what you're doing, they are listening what you're saying. So any conversation done during that time leaves a lasting impression. If we talk about it, that somebody is not connecting with the Jamaat, he should be, it comes from a so-and-so family or something like that, that leaves an impression on the child. The importance, even though he's not directly involved in that discussion, he is listening. So it is important. Most of the education can be done easily at the dinner table if we just stop watching TV and looking at the phone. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Amir Sahib. I voted in favor of children. I believe the process I go through in Pakistan, and I was not as good child as my children are for their parents. I was not a good child for my parents.
Okay.
Our children are facing a lot of problems, and Amir Sahib, we bring children to the mosque for why?
because from there Jamaat take a responsibility.
No.
We disagree.
I know, disagree.
Kindly.
Uh,
No, this is my point.
Yes, sir.
We spent 1 hour, 2 hour preparation and bringing children to the mosque. And mosque says that we have a plan, a program from the center, and we will implement as such. Sadr Sahib is here, few other Terbayyat secretaries and others are here. They can disagree with me, but I believe when the child we bring to the mosque, that the best people, they are now in the best people's hand. My son, elder son, he is a director of artificial intelligence. He managed 18 people in different continents. He told me that when I go to the mosque, you guys just fight. And I'm sick and
What,
tired.
I'm sorry, what did he say?
He said, you always fight in the mosque,
Oh, okay.
office bearer. And said, I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
There is no data, there is nothing, they just keep on arguing for nothing.
Yeah.
So I believe, my son is not on Facebook since Azur told, and after that nobody told him. And he is not even Facebook today. And none of my child are on Facebook. And we never asked them not to be on the Facebook. They listen their caliph and they obey it. So Amisha, I started to praying a lot in Tahajjud prayer from the children because that was my shortcoming. And I have a very good relationship with my children. I believe Hillary Clinton also told, to raise a child you need a full city. You need a full town. This is when I saw children are bullying. They are bullying each other. Someone has to, in the office bearer, has the responsibility to look up. And that's why children are not coming if they are not coming. There's many reasons, kindly. We have to recognize and we have to accept our shortcomings as an office holder. This is the way I look at. I have trained a lot of students in my lab, and I got a very exceptional rating. I was a judge, I was a board member of the different universities, and a number of things. And I love to give services to the Jamaat. Many places. I was never asked to do any help. And I have a lot of time to serve the children. I taught Holy Quran, if Jamaat, Connecticut Jamaat is here. I used to go every week, 9 sharp, to start my class. And for 5 years to 6 years. I still remember all the students' names. There's certain students who are not put in the class, I go to their homes. Or I invited to them to my home to teach them the Holy Quran. So I made one student who was the teacher of the Holy Quran, one was the Hadith, one was Zikr Hadith. So I delegated the duties. And we built up a very good team. Please.
I think what you're doing is commendable, sir. And if your children, I did not ask about individual children. There are parents here, fathers here, whose children are exemplary children serving the Jamaat and also fulfilling all their spiritual, obligations. My question was, as a Jamaat, as the whole Jamaat, in your Jamaat, children are, and we have the data, there's no question about it, it's undeniable data, how we are doing, and there is the problem. Now, if your children, excelling in spirituality, wonderful. It is not, and that Allah Ta'ala may, bless you and accept your efforts. There's no question about it.
Atlanta Jamaat's all child which I met, they are exceptional.
The second thing is those ones here, because this is the common thing that we go to mosque and we saw this office holder doing this and this over. Those who agree that we go to mosque to worship Allah or we have any other purpose, please raise your hand. Who go to mosque only to worship Allah. That's the purpose of going to mosque. Jazakallah. The people who believe that we go to mosque besides Allah's worship, please raise your hands. What is that, sir? What other thing you go over for worship besides worship?
It's the community.
Huh?
It's a community aspect. And I also previously disagreed that our children were the problem. I accept that there is definitely a problem with marriages in our kids and they marrying outside. But if it was 5%, 10%, 15%, then we could blame the terbiyyat of the parents or the kids. But if it's more than 25%, 30%, and it's increasing, there must be some systemic issue, and we have to identify that.
Okay.
In my opinion, the problem is that I can guarantee that no Ahmadi parent raises their kids and teaches them not to get married to an Ahmadi. And no kid, even the kids who are not regular in prayers, do not read Quran, do not go to the mosque 4 times a day, even those kids growing up do not think that when I grow up, I'm going to marry a non-Ahmadi. The problem is that, in short, we are in this society letting them meet, interact, and talk to the opposite sex that we don't want them to get married to. And we are preventing them from even using the same door to the mosque with the people who we want them to get married to.
Who is this?
We are preventing them to even use the same door to the mosque with the people whom we want them to get married to.
Okay, this is who we. What is the commandment of Allah? What is the commandment of Allah? Is not who. This is the problem. That it is the Jamaat who is doing it. This is the Khalifa who is doing it. This is the local officer who is doing it. We do this because Allah has commanded us of segregation of sexes, not we.
I completely agree with that. Then we have I believe we have 3 choices. We should create schools, universities, and institutions where we can have segregation, and our girls can go to a different school, boys can go to a different school. We should open up companies where it's segregation and girls can work in segregated companies and boys can work in segregated companies.
That's question.
If we are unable to do that for now, inshallah we will be in the future. But if we are not able to, the other option is that if we are so firm on the parda and fulfilling this commandment, we tell our kids, listen, you cannot go to any place where there's no segregation. You cannot go to the Walmart if you don't have a separate door.
Sir, I think you are just arguing for the sake of argument. Otherwise,
Sure.
I just told you the commandment of Allah, and I don't have the answer. I mean, if you want to carry on, that's fine. But your argument is so weak. The point is that if we don't have, you give me $100 million and we open up the school for segregation. You give me $1 billion, I assure you that Jamaat will do that. The point is that there are things that you have to do, and the chastity is important. And this is for both, for men and for women. You know, it's not that men should be doing it and women not. So it is. Did you hear the Ansarullah Khatab by Khalifatul Masih?
No.
Okay, please listen, and they'll be all right. I think that will get you the answers.
All right, thank you.
Jazakallah. This is brother here, and what's your name, sir? Noman Sahib. With all due respect, this is an issue here that we think that the Jamaat is making this segregation policy. That somehow, this is the Ahmadiyya issue. It's clear commandment in the Quran. Just read it. If you disagree with Allah, then that's okay. I think that's your issue, or anybody who disagree. But this is a separate segregation. The issue that the women, then if it is, this is under our control. That way we Jamaat Ahmadiyya people come in. Segregation should be practiced everywhere. Now the women who are doctor or who are attorney and they have to work at home, at workplace. They go there in proper attire and they work and they come home. That is equal to segregation. Just for the same thing is that if a female patient goes to a male doctor, there's nothing wrong with it, and say vice versa. That's a reality of life, but that does not allow to mixing with each other, or saying that why we have same entrance or why don't we have salat, in a same hall. That's against the Islamic teachings, and we accept it or we don't accept it. But Jamaat has nothing to do with it.
At the time of Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, in Masjid al-Nabi, there was no segregation. Men used to pray in the front, women used to pray in the back. In Khane Kaaba, there's no segregation. Women and men do the tawaf and namaz together. But my point is that we are the best of people. We are the believers of Hazrat Masih Maud. We believe that the character and personality of the Ahmadi kids is the best.
Yes, sir.
But we are allowing them to interact with the people who do not have high moral standards. They don't have high character. They don't care about chastity. We are letting them interact with them. And we are not letting them interact with the best of the people who we trust are the best and who have high moral standards. So I'm not saying allow them free, no segregation at all. Just give them opportunities, maybe have some meetings where they can discuss, okay, let's do a donation drive, or let's have a flyer distribution or something like that, where we can control the interaction. We can teach them how to properly in this society interact with the opposite sex, and what is the proper way to talk, how should you be dressed, what distance should you keep from the opposite sex, and we should give them opportunities to just get to know each other. And I think if we are trusting them to go and study with Lal Pila Kala people, I think we should not be scared for them to interact. I'm not saying just have parties or things like that. Just some Jamaati flyer distribution, like I said, so they can just get to know each other. That's my whole point.
What that would do?
So, in the example, if you interview all the people who have married outside of the Jamaat, nobody is going to tell you that they went out looking for a non-Ahmadi rishta. The interaction, the friendships that develop organically, then they develop feelings, and then they become serious, and then they want to get married. So,
this comes to the same point that you were talking about before, that if you have trained people, if you have trained your children right from young age between right and wrong, it stays with them. And there are children here, mashallah, who goes in the same thing. My children go to the same schools and classes. I don't want to give my example, but there are children, right, to go there, and they stays, without any mixing. I mean, they may have talked to the girls and the boys. This is not saying it in the college and all that, but that does not mean that they start dating. Same thing is, this is reality, is that these marriages don't come out of nowhere. Whoever is getting married outside to a class fellow or to whoever, a co-worker, it is a dating process. These people are not going to marry just because you are a kind boy or a good man. They have to go through that process. I live in the same country, unless, it is, which Jamaat you are?
Central Virginia.
Huh?
Virginia.
Virginia. Huh? So that is the thing is, this marriage, these people do not, especially people who are born here, do not marry just because this guy is handsome or this guy is, educated. They have to go through process of dating, going to dinner, talking to each other, and then process and culminating in that. So if we are not doing it, we're not getting married outside. Just for the data here, Somebody asked me the other day, we had the data for last 2 years, 27% of the total marriages in the Jamaat happened outside. That is for last 2 years. But if you take for the last 5 years, it may go up to 32 or 33. But exact number, whoever asked me, if he is in the audience, I just want to give exact data. That total of 87 marriages in last 2 years outside the Jamaat, with Christians, for Ahmadi for conversion, converted Ahmadi for marriage, and those kind of things, or Sunni Muslims, and that is total of 27%. The girls and boys both. That I don't have, but recently more girls are also marrying. But that's another issue. The girls are marrying outside out of, in my opinion, purely is out of necessity. Their biological clock is ticking. They are waiting. Most of them are over 30 years old. They waited, and our, Ahmadi boys are getting married outside, and then they just find them made, but again, it comes down to parental responsibility. That's a separate issue. I know you have other programs to do, and I don't want to get into and involve that. But I just want to draw your, how many minutes? Huh? That's it. We're done? Okay. So we don't have any time more questions or advice, not questions. But the problem is a real problem. And I would advise all of you to just go back and listen to Khalifatul Masih's address to UK Ansar. Think about it. You may agree, you may not agree, and your own opinion, and you are entitled in this country of your own opinion, or anywhere for that matter. But see the consequences. And if you accept it, that's fine too. If you think your children would go this way, and you are happy with it, and you're happy attending their marriages, and to a Christian girl who, even though they say we prove unity of God, but actually they are believer in Trinity, that's the choice your children had made. But at the end, we all have to go and leave this world and meet the Creator, and we'll be asked what we did, what our responsibility were, and that includes our own children. So that day is going to come. Sooner or later, we are going to die. And we would be held responsible for our obligation, because those children is trusted. We were born Ahmadi, and we lost them. That's the sad part. They were not the one who came out and that's gone. They were born Ahmadi. Their grandparents were, faithful Ahmadi. Their great grandparents, some of them companions from Islam. And we just threw them out. And we are the one responsible, nobody else, as parents. If we take it, understand it sooner than the better. If you don't, then the God is not waiting for us. That's the reality. Jazakallah for your time, and if I have something pleasant, I apologize for it. Or the rest of it, again I would emphasize, go listen to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih's Khatab and all his addresses. And if that doesn't move us, this conversation is not going to do anything. Tomorrow is the same day with a new agenda. Dua kar lein. on